Hello and welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. So, I'm showing you this screen with all this boring information right now just because there are people who play this game before and they might be wondering what are the settings you're playing at. Here they are, you can see it now. Let's jump right into the game and I'll explain what it's all about. So this is kind of like a city builder, like City Skylines or SimCity, but there's a far greater emphasis on industry, planned economy, and just plopping down stuff and making sure, manually, like every single bit of it, fits together and works. So you have to like ensure that the flow of resources and flow of workers is sensible and is like satisfies the needs of industry and of course the people. So you have to essentially plan out a society all on your own, which is appropriate because this is a socialist republic, Soviet Socialist Republic, even though it has far greater autonomy than a Soviet Socialist Republic usually would, I think, in this period, because you are allowed to set up your own trade deals with the Soviet bloc and the Western NATO bloc, the capitalist bloc and the non-capitalist rubles bloc. So here you can trade for dollars and here you can trade for rubles by sending stuff across the border. We are building a Norwegian Soviet Socialist Republic. My headcanon right now, because we have a border against the West and a border against the Soviets, is that either this area is part of a halfway occupied territory, like North and South Norway, for example, where part of it is occupied by NATO, part is occupied by the Soviets, after the fall of the German, like, occupational government during World War II, or we are in a situation where the Soviets occupy Norway. This is part of Norway that we can trade with, and we control a part of Norway, I guess. And then this is the border to Sweden or something. I don't know what Beata is. That doesn't look like a Norwegian name, so it might actually be a different country. Though it doesn't look like a Swedish name either. I don't know. But enough about that. That's generally what this game is about. We'll pause the game and we'll get further into it once we start doing stuff. But before I get there, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, because you might not have watched any of my videos before. I am from Norway, this is why I chose this as the map. And also I am a student of history, with a degree in history, a bachelor's degree, and a master's degree currently in progress, halfway through that. Started writing it now, so, or writing the thesis. So I have some understanding of history and stuff, which I hope to leverage to make the content more interesting. And I think that's about it. Okay, so looking at the map, when you're planning out, you want to look at where the resources are, and you want to look at where the people you can use are. There's a lot of people down here, so this is probably going to be our main city area. I like this little island. It reminds me of where I'm from. This little peninsula. And yeah, Sørvær means southern, Vær usually means like fiskevær. It's a shorthand for fiskevær, which is like a fishing wharf or like a fishing docks area where, you know, where the boats unload their fish. Probably for processing and then, you know, transport. We have a lot of very traditional, like, small Norwegian farming communities, which I really like. I haven't seen farms set up on any maps before, so that's kind of interesting. Of course, the problem with these fields is that I don't think they're going to be, like, the fields aren't going to be exploiting the resources, actually, so you need to send a truck or a train or something to pick up all these, this food and bring it to wherever we're doing stuff with it, which is going to be an interesting challenge. I think we should probably try to do that, like, not have a massive farming area, which people usually do in this game, instead have it decentralized in the Norwegian fashion with, these farms like this. And then maybe get like a compromise, like some factory farming somewhere, since we are a socialist republic and we can plan this out. Oh, Trollgården means the Trolls farm. Skogsdal means Forest Valley. Yeah, well, let's see. Oh, another thing I need to say before we go. Before we go ahead and start building, another thing about myself, I have a voice issue, so I'll frequently be drinking from my glass of water, and my voice may croak. It may end halfway through this episode, or in further into this episode. You'll tell by the episode length. Anyways, let's start building. So, First thing we need to worry about, we got populations. We don't need to build too many buildings, but these buildings are very inefficient for population. You can see 66 out of 95 max. A lot of workers without job, they don't have power, so we need to think about power, and we need to think about education, and we need to think about basic needs. That's going to be set up over here. However, before that, we need to think about how we're going to make the money to pay for all that. Because although we are a Soviet Socialist Republic, money still makes the world go around. So the way we do that is by exporting resources to the socialist bloc. If you can, like late game, if you can sort of get to a full total autarky, then meaning resource independence, you can theoretically discount, like you don't have to worry about money in that case. Capital is not needed and you have achieved, I guess, some form of communism. The problem though, is that's going to take a long time. We need to become completely self-sufficient. So, for now, we need to think about how we're making money, and one good way of making money, as I said, exports, though we don't have many resources to export near the border. The closest one is coal up in this valley here, which coal isn't, as far as I know, a very valuable resource for export. Uranium is by far the most brutally efficient resource for export. However, we would have to set up the mining and stuff operation over here, which is where we want to build the city. Unless we decide to create a big artificial island down here to get the uranium and then ship it up over there. Because processed uranium is a very good source of money. Oil is also a good source of money. Once again, there's that's also a very capital-intensive industry, so setting up a huge oil industry will also need transport of workers there and stuff like that. Not an option I see being very viable in the beginning. So I think we'll start with the coal, because we'll need it anyways. Coal seems to be nestled very inconveniently in these valleys. So let's see. It's gonna be finicky. We need to figure out a way to get the road all the way up there, down to Saltgård. By the way, quick pronunciation guide to people who don't speak Norwegian. This letter, or, that's or, kind of like, trying to think of an English word with that sound in it, or as in, oh my god? No, that's oh, ooh, no, that doesn't work, oh. Making weird sounds now. This is, no, yeah, this is an That. So that's O and Ö. And we don't have any A. The combination of A and E. That's fine. So we're gonna do a gravel road because it's way cheaper than asphalt roads, and we don't have many very fast vehicles because we are in the year 1960. This triumphant music is stressing me out because I'm only building a shitty road. Let's see, how do we want to set this up? Might want to set up one road that goes like this and one road that goes down there. Because I don't know if I want to have everything pass through Saltgård. Maybe. Maybe I do. You can see it now. We're going to watch our money melt away. Wait, hold up. Let me see. Are there any other resources I could... Or any other industries? Oh no, I've got the... Oh, no, much. Had something stuck on the cursor there. Are there any other industries I could do? I could do... I could do a distillery. And make alcohol and export that, I guess. I don't know how much... that's worth. We can check that. That's vehicles and buildings. Where is it? Resource status? No, it's economy and trade. And production and consumption? No. Current prices on the global market. So let's have a look at good cash crops, so to say. They don't need to be crops. They could be figurative crops, you know, pulled from the earth. Out of those, of course, you have 6. Oh, sorry, nuclear fuel is absurdly good. And this is going to be a thing we're going to be going for, I think, pretty quickly, because I do think Norway has not necessarily uranium, but we have something like it. We have thorium and stuff that could be nuclear fuel in plenty here in Norway compared to the rest of the world. So I don't think it's that absurd for Norway to be exporting nuclear fuel to the socialist bloc if we were, you know, occupied. And oil, of course, is a staple of, of, I was about to say, Norwegian cuisine. I mean, fish oil is. Though not necessarily cuisine. We have to take fish oil supplements, otherwise we go insane because the sun disappears for half the year. So, clothes are good as well, but that's a capital-intensive industry. We need to set up a lot for that, electronic components as well. So, we want to look at what can we make for the least amount of money. Fuel is a good export as well. Better than oil. Exporting oil isn't worth it. Same with the uranium ore. Look at this. It's pitiful. Bitumen, very good export. I think we'll do coal and then... we might have to set up... Honestly, we might set up steel industry and just export steel. Even though it is a very capital-intensive industry. I don't know if there's a good way of looking at what we're paying compared to what we're getting. So, like, we don't have to pay our workers wages. But in the beginning, the one thing that's going to put a drain on our economy in regards to production, like the one thing we're paying for when we're producing is power. We don't have the power plants. But if we do coal, we could sort of, you know, kill two capitalists with one 7.62 bullet and set up a coal like power plant and that way give power to our people in Sørvær, which we're probably going to rename this to something related to Norwegian like historical communists, or maybe not communists, because though we have some, they're not as not as prominent in Norwegian history as other leftist ideologies are. Like, I'm not going to get too deep into this because I will ramble forever. We have we had a situation after the Russian Revolution and you know, Lenin's sort of triumph there, where our parties were sort of divided on whether or not, like our socialist parties were sort of divided on whether or not Lenin was a good guy, and the Soviet Union was good. So they eventually, the ones who didn't really think so, won out. So we've got, you know, Norwegian labor and stuff like that, and ended up resigning from stuff like the Comintern and stuff like that, Communist International, and because of that, even though a lot of people might have identified as communists or might have identified with the Communist International when they were leftists in Norwegian history, they may have then later turned to other things or been identified as other things. So, for example, we have Martin Tranmæl, who is a very famous Norwegian leftist. He was identified more as a syndicalist than a communist. Let's see. There's actually only room for one coal mine. That's not that bad, because one coal mine does require an absurd amount of workers. And we may actually want a better way of shipping workers up than this shitty gravel road. Though then we'll have to start thinking about tunnels, and although, you know, us Norwegians, we do love our tunnels because our terrain is quite hellish for everything else. I mean, it's zoom in here because, let's see. Yeah, okay, so that, we want that facing that way. Okay, so the thing on the bottom there is a pipeline sort of situation. I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit so I can actually put a road here. And then you have, you know, pedestrian walkway indicators. That pipeline thing is going to ship the coal down the mountain, I think. Or should it? Should we ship the coal down the mountain, or should we keep the coal processing up here? So this is a dilemma, because we can, if we set up worker shipping, by that I mean buses, to all go to a terminal point here, then we can have the coal processing right next to it as well. Or we can ship the coal down the mountain by the use of electrics and gravity. and get it down here and put processing down here, and then we can have a train that goes in this flat bit, taking the coal. We can have trucks take the coal to the border, but we can have a train taking the coal to, for example, a power plant or something closer to here if we need to, where there will be workers as well. Though a power plant doesn't need that many workers, it needs expert workers though. I haven't decided. But let's see if we can't get this road up first. One problem at a time. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. Oh no, it's gonna work quite well actually. Okay, and then let's plan out the conveyor system. This might actually tell us like whether or not we wanna... Yeah, it's gonna be really easy, I think, to bring all this stuff down. I don't know which... Yeah, that's the side of the road. Okay, that's good. We wanna have roads going to this, just to allow our emergency services to quench fires if need be. This actually stretches really far. I do have a couple of mods on, by the way, not just this map, but I'm not using them quite yet. I'll tell you about them when I do. It's probably not the silliest thing to do right there. And then, so let's have a look at our coal processing. How much space does it take up? Gravel, coal, iron. Coal ore processing plant. Yes, we could fit one down here. Though, I don't think we can necessarily fit one close enough for it to even be worth it. Because the walking distance is going to be so far that we may as well put it somewhere else. And then we can have it ship... oh, it's going to be far away. And then we can have it ship... oh, it might actually... Hold up, we might actually not even be able to fit it down here. Unless we demolish a part of Saltgård, which we could. We could just ship it all the way down to... Like, this is a good place for industry. This is a good place for export industries, like industries that are going to go here. Let's have a look at iron. Iron is out in the mountains as well. It's not an excellent spot. Like, this is a good place for steel industry over here. If you look at the map. Can't zoom out for some reason when I've got this, because scroll wheel is used for... oh, you can. You just have to hold shift. Can't build due to infrastructure. Yeah, we'd have to delete the road and rebuild it, I think. Oh, never mind. We can build it here, though that's a terrible spot because the pipes would have to go around it. That's not the worst spot. Keep in mind, we need a lot of workers for this, and those workers need to come from somewhere, so we will need to build a city or a town near this. Question is, will our road be able to get up here? That's why I'm flattening it out a little bit back like this. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, no problem. So how many workers is that? That's 412 max on that. Construction, or that's on the construction side, my bad. I think the processing plant won't take that many, but the coal mine will take many. It's going to be built with money, so we're not going to use the resources that it says it needs, or the workers. We're just using cold hard capital. See. Now, should we think about a train station? Because we will need a train station going out here no matter what anyway, so I think we should start thinking about setting up a train station. Maybe have the train go on this side of the road and the valley. Set up the train station here. We need passengers and we need resources, I think. I don't think circular tracks, which are the best type of track, like the ones where you can have a loop and you can have multiple trains on the same loop, are gonna really work here in Norway. They don't in real life in most of Norway, so I think we're just gonna have to do a single thing with multiple tracks and then have one resource train and one passenger train, I think. Which is going to pose a significant challenge. Let's do a train aggregate loading thing. So we're gonna send all the coal to here and then load the coal up here. We're going to have to get rid of the farms, I think. Yeah, the farms are gonna have to go. There's no longer a farming community. I'm not unpausing, because when I unpause, we're going to start spending money. So this gives us room for, theoretically, 2 resource trains. Which is good. Though should we perhaps... Let's see. We don't need a huge train platform. We don't need a lot of... Oh, maybe... Yeah, we need one of these, I think. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna have 4 tracks, I think, going this way. We're just future-proofing this, essentially. This is going to be... This is going to look terrible. To a lot of people. I don't know if I should... let's see, we could set it up like this and then have train trucks go around it and then some through it, so we can have... No, I'm starting to think circularly, which I shouldn't right now. It's going to complicate things immensely for the future, and I don't want to do that. Since this terrain isn't very well suited for it. If we had a big flat map, it could work. But this is not that kind of map, so let's see. No, that's a problem. Can we do something about this? Yeah, you usually can, it's just finicky. There you go. I couldn't put down the tracks because of the terrain. Let's get rid of the farms. We have to. Since the angle won't... I mean... In theory, we could go through, but why do that when we could just demolish them and rebuild them somewhere else? It's not like we have to buy back the land from anyone. Let's unpause, just to get the farms out of the way. And then you can see stuff started building there on the right. I want to try to not necessarily make the tracks here merge, but I want to have them next to each other. I forget if there's a way to speed up this. Like the terrain flattening. Let's see, honey, it is time for your 4 PM terrain flattening. There we go. It works. Oh yeah, cool. So that's gonna potentially, probably, hopefully, be unproblematic. We'll have to set up a system for all the tracks to merge onto this one and then have the trains wait whenever that happens. That's gonna be finicky, but with the power and magic of signals, we can make it work. Again, this is how most of these games start. You start planning out a society around a single production chain. Kind of like how, you know, Pripyat in Ukraine, on the border towards Russia. The town meant to supply Chernobyl with workers. Just sort of rose up out of nowhere. It was just built by the Soviets. It's actually really interesting because, you know, you need workers for the power plant, right? So that's going to employ a bunch of people. Then you need firemen. You need a hospital. In case something happens, you need, you know, all this infrastructure. You need people to work in these places. You need houses. You need stores. You need, you know, amenities for the people. You need military to protect it because it was like a closed city, right? So you needed access to get in, because it was of, national, like, it posed a national security risk. So you need a military base, or military people, you need police, and all this, and suddenly you've got this, like, you got a city. All around a single power plant. Let's see. Yeah, because we're gonna have this train go all the way over towards Sørvad, which we'll rename, of course. Let's let the trains rest for a moment. Let's start thinking of the or think about the residential bit of this. Now I have some cool residential buildings that are modded, like these guys, centipedes, but they won't fit here, and they're also way, way, way too densely populated. I've got these for like late game when we get really like advanced and things start looking nice. I've got these guys, which are really cool. Can't really get them. Yeah, there you go. You can sort of see them with different colors and stuff. Though they have, let's see, they have 410 workers, which is sort of what we need for this place, I think. And we can build multiple of those, but I think I'm gonna go for the more modest residential buildings first. And if I can, I want to make this place look like it was planned out, even though I'm terrible at it. Let's get rid of the farm as well. Oh no. We can also just replace all this with gravel, because we don't want these dirt roads, which, by the way, they are free, but they're also terrible. Let's see. Prefab, 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 prefab. Let's do 189 workers. Quality flats. We want to have some pretty high quality flats here, but yeah, sure. Let's do something like this. Now, a misconception that I think a lot of people have, and that I had with this game, is that you don't actually need a road through these houses. Even though it has road connections, you don't need them. One would think you would need them for like, well, let's see. One would think that you would need them for emergency services to reach the building, but the emergency services will use footpaths. So what I can do is, oh, that's gonna look terrible actually, but we'll we'll try to make it work. Just triggering the the mega DPI setting on my mouse so that I can make some more accurate bits here. There we go. Let's do shallow angles, because that makes it look a bit more planned out. Okay, that'll work for now. We'll probably clean it up a little bit in the future. Workers will walk along sidewalks on the roads. Of course, there are no sidewalks yet, so we don't have that set up. So on pause. Only need a small store. This needs a road access for delivery in the future. Usually it's better to plan out everything before you set up the roads, because the roads will actually block building placements. Crossing not allowed. God damn it. It's fine, because, yeah, there you go. It's fine, they can get out there, but we'll set up stuff on the other side later. Now all those people are going to the store, and one of the only jobs. They all have names and stuff, I think, but it's not as, like, it's not very likely that you're going to be, keeping track of everyone. By the way, we have to name a lot of things. Like, we can name these, I think. Yeah, we can name every building and stuff. So we're going to name a lot of things after people in the comments, after people in the Discord. By the way, there's a link in the description to that. We're going to name people after Patreon subs, or places after Patreon subs and all that. Let's see, we've got that, we need a grocery store. You can set up a big, like, uni, or like multi-purpose store, but I'm gonna do small ones, because this is a, you know, technically a fairly small community. Let's get rid of this house, by the way. It no longer serves the Great Proletarian Revolution. See it like that. And let's see, I want to get a road out here that that can allow workers to walk behind the buildings, so that they don't have to walk out there on the road and stuff. So that, like, if they're going from this to, like, buildings over here, or if I, God forbid, put something up on the hills here, they can go up there. So we have our first socialist flats. Or Eastern European, Eastern Bloc style flats. We're basically at the 30-minute mark now, so I do want to leave you there, because that is how we roll. But I'm going to put a couple of things more down so you can sort of see what this, what our towns will start to look like once, once things get going. We need a pub. Every Norwegian will tell you that. That is a basic necessity. What kind of, what kind of terrible, horrendous dystopian nation would we be without alcohol? Hospital, all necessities in the future, not now. Fire station, that'll be necessary for the industry at least. Amenities, we'll put down some of those as well. Though there's a modern one that, for reasons, makes things better. Which I'll probably explain at some point, but not now, because we have little time. Set up a tennis court. Well, actually, no, let's do a football. Are we doing? Yeah, we are doing a football stadium. Us Norwegians do love our football. Perfect working class sport. Can't really... Oh, there we go. Rotate it properly. There we go. There we go. Can we get this to look less terrible? I don't think so. Oh, there we go. We'll get into the education system and stuff once we get to the next episode. And I think that's it. I want to say thank you so much for watching. All relevant information that you might be seeking will be found in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.